Hey, good morning, everybody. I wanted to be able to jump in here and help a few of you guys out if you were kind of really busy in the weekend or a little too lazy to meal plan. And so you're waking up Monday morning and you're realizing, I don't have any meals planned for the week. How am I going to stay on track? Or even if this is a recurring issue for you, I want to help you out. I want to just share with you how I personally handle this when you find yourself, like I said, Monday morning, and you're like, I don't have any meals planned for the week, and I know if I don't have something planned, then I'm going to eat off track. I'm not going to eat as healthy as I know I could or would if I had all my meals planned out like I wanted to. So for all of our meal planning strugglers, this hits home for me. This was a place that I lived for a really long time because I just didn't want to have to plan my meals. I wanted to be able to just grab what I wanted when I wanted it and not have to think about it. But that didn't get me anywhere with my results. And so I've kind of found a happy medium, I guess, for when I'm in this crunch time. So the first thing that I do when I realize that, maybe I didn't get to the grocery store yet, or maybe I have to deal with what I have on hand, but how am I going to do this? So the first thing I do is I look at my dinners. And I just decide that my dinners are going to be super simple, that they're going to be exactly what I know that my family will eat, okay? And so, for example, I always make sure that I have a protein, a vegetable, and a healthy carb for us to eat, and usually I include a healthy fat, right? So when I'm looking at what I have in my freezer or I'm making my list to quickly run to the store and just grab and go, I want to pick at least 3 proteins that I know my family will eat. So like I know my family, I can easily make meals with, and these are proteins that won't require me to create a recipe or do anything fancy with it or whatever. So it's real easy for me to just grab ground meat, either ground turkey or ground beef, because I know I can easily do, easily do burgers with that without much thought. Or meatballs, and my family will eat it up, or I can do the sloppy joe like I did last week, right? I'll pick up something like chicken. Everybody likes chicken, but if your family gets tired of chicken or you absolutely just hate chicken, then just reach for pork or beef, whichever one is what your family likes. And then the third one is fish. I always have fish, so there you go. I've got something like a ground beef or chicken, steak something really easy like ground beef, and then another protein, something like steak or chicken or pork chops, where I can just cook it and put it with the veggie and I'm done. Or the third one would be, and the third protein that I always have on hand is a fish. So either salmon or tilapia is usually the 2 fishes that my family will eat, for example. But for dinners, I pick a protein that everybody will like. I pick 3 of them. I pick 3 to 5 veggies that everybody will eat. And I plan on 3 different carbs that everyone will eat. So like rice, pasta, and a potato, right? Whether you go with sweet potato or white potato, you go with what your family will eat. Potatoes, don't overthink it, you guys. If you know your family's going to eat white potatoes and they absolutely hate sweet potatoes, but you want sweet potatoes so you can be healthier, just pick up the 1 or 2 sweet potatoes for your meals through the week and give your family the white potatoes. Don't overthink it. Just stay simple. So you've got a protein, a vegetable, and a carb. They're all healthy. These are things that you can easily and quickly you cook a protein, you cook a veggie, and you cook a carb, and bam, you've got a dinner, okay? So you'll be able to you don't have to plan your meals. You'll be able to come home every day and say, okay, what's for dinner tonight? Pull a protein, pull a carb, and pull a veggie. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And when I look at the veggies that I'm going to be planning for my family, I pick 3 to 5 that I know my family will eat. So, and these are either frozen or raw, or that I know I can cook down. It doesn't matter. Just pick them. And then I always make sure that at least 2 or 3 meals of the week, it's okay for me to have a side salad and not have to cook a veggie if I don't want to. Okay. So, but that's the biggest part right there, is your dinners. Making sure that it's ingredients that everybody's going to eat. You don't need a fancy recipe for it. You're just putting together a protein, a veggie, and a carb, and you're moving on. Okay. So the next question that I would ask you for, because you're looking at breakfast and lunch now, right? So this is prime time for you to utilize your Shakeology smartly. Look at which meal of the day, your breakfast or your lunch, do you have the hardest time eating healthy for, or squeezing in time-wise? So if you know that you have a hard time making breakfast happen because of time, or you're really, really tempted to reach for lots of sugary sweet things, and you're mostly tempted to run through the drive-thru of McDonald's or something like that, then that's a real major weak point for you. And I want you to discipline yourself to get in the habit of having your Shakeology for breakfast. But if you find that lunch is more challenging for you to choose healthy for, or like you never remember to pack your lunch every day, or you just don't know what to pack for your lunch every day, or whatever the reason is, or you work from home and it's real easy for you to just graze through the day, I want you to make Shakeology your lunch. So no matter which meal you make your Shakeology, either breakfast or lunch, that's another meal of the day that is totally covered. So let me talk to the people who are going to be having their Shakeology for lunch and they need help with breakfast ideas. So my number one, my approach to breakfast is, I'm always going to plan on a protein, and I'm going to plan on a veggie or fruit at my breakfast. So if I'm in the mood for sweet, I usually go for a yogurt and berry. Sometimes you can also stir in your Shakeology into your yogurt and get that extra protein, as well as make it your Shakeology for the day. If I want savory, I go for eggs and veggie. I just saute a veggie like spinach and tomato or something like that. But again, I'm not overthinking it, okay? Eggs, we always have eggs on hand. Berries, we always have berries on hand. And some kind of veggie is always on hand. So I'm just reaching for those ingredients depending on whatever mood I wake up in the morning for, either sweet or salty or savory or whatever. So now I'm going to talk to the people who, if you know that if breakfast was your hardest meal of the day, and so you're going to have your shake for breakfast, and so now you need lunch. What can I do for lunches if I didn't meal plan? Your go-to lunches, I want you to do one of two things. This is how I handle it. The first thing is I either plan on leftovers. So whatever I cooked for dinner the night before, I go ahead and while I'm cooking dinner, I cook an extra portion for me and or my husband for the next day to have for lunch. Okay? So if it was pork chops, asparagus, and rice, then I'm going to cook an extra pork chop and an extra portion of the asparagus. And when we start cleaning up the kitchen and everything, I set those aside for me to have for my lunch the next day. Or if you're not a big leftovers person and you want to be able to change it up from day to day, plan on salads and wraps. That's the easiest way to tackle lunches and you can pack them easy. It doesn't require cooking. You can have either pick up a rotisserie chicken that you can keep in your fridge and just pull, stuff a salad, mix and tomatoes, and drizzle some olive oil and some vinegar in there, roll it up, pack it away, bring it with you, or have that as a quick option at lunch. I've done tuna salad, made my tuna fish with avocado and some peppers and tomatoes, and had it in a wrap, either with a salad wrap like the leaf wrap, or you can have it with your wheat tortilla wrap. or your whole grain tortilla wrap or your Ezekiel wrap. Or you can put it on a huge bowl of salad and get a whole bunch of your greens out of the way. I did that yesterday. So salads and wraps are really my go-to. So those are my quick, oh my gosh, I did not meal plan. How am I going to stay on track? Meal tips for you. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, what about my snacks? Then that's where I go in. I sneak in my fruits and extra spoons of the day. So like apple and nut butter or something, again, really simple and quick, okay? If you absolutely have to, a protein bar. Or if you need one of your snacks to be your post-workout and you don't utilize the Beachbody recovery at post-workout, and you don't necessarily want to have to use your shake for lunch or dinner, then use your shake as your post-workout. But those are my tips. Just make it as simple as possible. So first one was dinners, something everybody's gonna like. If you haven't done your grocery shopping yet, then you're gonna pick up 3 proteins and rotate them through the week. You're gonna pick up 3 to 5 veggies that everybody will eat and rotate them through the week. And you're gonna pick up 3 carbs that everybody will eat, like rice, pasta, or potato, okay? And just rotate it through your meal. So every day when you get ready to make your meal, you're just gonna reach for it and put the 3 together, bam, you got a meal. Then you're gonna figure out which meal is best for you to make your Shakeology meal. And when you make that Shakeology, you're gonna do it up. You're gonna put your greens in there, you're gonna put your spoon of oil in there, like nut butter, maybe even a fruit for your purple container, and you're good to go. That's a full meal for you. And so if you need help, whichever meal you don't use for your Shakeology, then your breakfast, you're going to keep it simple with eggs and sauteed veggies or Greek yogurt and berries. And or if your lunches is your deal, you're going to keep it simple with wraps and salads or leftovers. So I hope that helps you guys. That's literally how we live our life when we don't sit down and write out a meal plan for every single day of the week. That's how we approach meals. It keeps life simple, on the go, and we're both empowered to be able to make meal decisions every night of the week without having to overthink it and know that we're eating on track for our goals. So hopefully that helps everybody. I'll talk to you guys later, and I can't wait to see everybody sharing their meals today in the group. Bye.